Welcome to Lesson 5 of How to Understand Quranic Grammar series. In the course of the last 4 lessons, we managed to discuss every related topic to the Arabic noun, or ism. At this point, you should be able to tell if a noun is definite or indefinite, the gender of the noun, if it is masculine or feminine, and finally, knowing if the number of the noun is singular, dual, or plural. We also learned about the related topics that should be adjusted as a result, like using the suitable demonstrative pronouns, depending on the gender and the number of the noun. Also, using the proper adjectives that agree with the gender of the noun. And finally, using pronouns which can replace the nouns depending on the gender and the number. It is extremely important at this point that before you proceed with this lesson, that you understand all these concepts at 100%, because whatever we'll learn afterwards will be built upon these foundations. So, if all the previously mentioned points are completely understood, then you're ready for today's lesson. So, let's get started. And today's topic is not only related to one category of the Arabic word, but it is a topic that is related to every single word in Arabic. That's why it is very crucial to understand how to deal with today's lesson. Today's lesson is i'rab, or in English, case endings. Now let's start by answering the obvious question. What is a case ending? Case ending is a sign that is found at the end of a word to indicate what its function is in the sentence. So if the word is used separately, there will be no case ending for it. But once it is placed in a sentence, it receives that case ending. So for example, the word rajul does not automatically have a case ending when you use it as a separate word. But the very same word in this ayah will always get a case ending, whether you pronounce it or not, in case you stop at said word. So here we say, أَكَانَ لِلنَّاسِ عَجَبًا أَنْ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ رَجُلٍ مِّنْهُمْ. Even if we stop at the word and you won't pronounce it, the case ending is still there as long as the word is part of a sentence. So even when you say, أَكَانَ لِلنَّاسِ عَجَبًا أَنْ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ رَجُلٍ. So even if we stop at the word and you won't pronounce the case ending is still there as long as the word is part of a sentence. So now that we know what i'rab or case ending is, why is it so important and why are we learning it now? Besides the fact that i'rab or case ending is related to every single word in Arabic, it also determines what the function of the word is in the sentence. So now you might be wondering, why would that be so important to know? Doesn't word order reveal enough information about the function of the word? Since if we say, for example, Yusuf saw Jacob, it is pretty clear who did what in the sentence. So why is case ending needed when you translate it into Arabic? Well, in English, that might be true. Word order reveals enough information about the function of the word. But that very same sentence in Arabic, without case endings, would be very ambiguous and even very misleading. So it would be, رَأَى يُوسُف يَعْقُوبَ. Here's a sentence without case endings. Now, why would that be ambiguous or misleading? Because if you say, رَأَى يُوسُفُ يَعْقُوبَ, it would mean indeed the same as the English sentence, that Yusuf is the subject and he did the action of the verb. But if you say, رَأَى يُوسُفَ يَعْقُوبُ, it would mean that Jacob is the one who saw Yusuf. The very same sentence, the very same word order, the only difference is the case ending, and that was enough to turn the one doing the action into the one affected by the action, which is a big difference. So getting the i'rab or the case endings right is extremely important when it comes to the Holy Quran. Making a mistake in the case ending is called in Arabic lahn, or a clear mistake, which is actually haram to make, if you're able to learn and avoid it, of course. Because switching these endings around will definitely ruin the meaning of the ayah. So let's have a look at this example to understand how serious this type of mistakes is. In this ayah, we read, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء, which means, only those of knowledge fear Allah. However, if we by mistake switch the case endings, the meaning would be, only Allah fears those of knowledge, which is not only a wrong meaning, it is even blasphemous. So understanding the meaning of these case endings is very crucial, and in this example, a mistake can have very serious consequences to the meaning of the ayah. So this can also give you a perspective on why grammar is very important in understanding and reciting the Quran properly. And if you want to learn more about this type of mistakes and how to avoid them, you can check out this video about clear and subtle mistakes of tajweed. So far, we know what i'rab or case endings is, why we learn it, and how important it is for Quranic Arabic. Let's see what kind of case endings are there. There are three types of case endings: short vowels, long vowels, and tanween. Short vowels are found in all three types of words, so nouns, verbs, and prepositions. They are the signs of tashkil, including the sukun or no sign at all in the Quran. Like in this example, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Here we see that the word قُلْ ends with sukun. The word أعوذ ends with ضمة. The word بِرَبِّ ends with kasr. So these are the case endings of short vowels. Second is the long vowels. Case endings of long vowels only occur with nouns, so not with verbs or prepositions. With long vowels, there are only three possibilities: alif, waw, and ya. And you'll see them added to the end of the word, like the two variations of dual and plural masculine nouns that we've learned in the previous lesson. So when we say al-mu'minun and al-mu'minin, they are exactly the same word, but they have different functions. Other words like the, thu, the, which we learned in lesson 7 of how to understand 50% of Quranic vocabulary series. The same story, all of them mean the same thing, but they have different functions. Like in this example, لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين. Here we see that the word al-mu'minun and al-mu'minin were used in the same sentence in two different variations because they have different functions. Last is the tanween, which occurs exclusively with nouns as well. It is also one of the most important signs for indefinite nouns. Like in this example, ضرب الله مثلا رجلا فيه شركاء متشاكسون ورجلا سلما لرجل هل يستويان مثلا. Here we see the word rajul used in two different variations. In the first two instances, it was used as rajulan, but in the third instance, it was used with tanween kasr, li rajulin. because of the different function in this case. Next and most important, how do we learn the case endings or the i'rab of the words in the Quran? There are, of course, a good number of rules that are simple enough to understand and apply in your analysis. And we'll start going deeper into them starting from lesson 6 when we start discussing the Quranic verbs. However, the i'rab of the Quran in its entirety is a highly complex endeavor which will be outside the scope of this series. But as for a start, knowing the basics will be more than enough to get you going to understanding the Quran with ease, insha'Allah. And from this lesson on, you should always include the case ending in your analysis of the Arabic nouns, whether you already know its function or you'll learn it in future lessons. Let's see an example to learn how to properly do that. قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون. Now let's start by highlighting all the nouns that we see in front of us. So we have المؤمنون, صلاتهم, خاشعون, اللغو, and معرضون. And now we'll try to find out the 4 characteristics of the Arabic noun. The 4 characteristics are the state of the noun, is it definite or indefinite? The gender of the word, masculine or feminine? The number of the noun, singular, dual, or plural? And last, the case ending of the noun. The word al-mu'minun is definite because it starts with al. It is masculine because it does not end with ta marbuta, and it does not belong to any of the categories of the feminine noun. And it is plural because it ends with waw nun, so it is a masculine plural. And last, the case ending for al-mu'minun is the long vowel waw. Now moving on to the word salatihim. The first thing you should pay attention to is that the word salatihim is made up of salah and the suffix him, which means their. So salatihim means their prayer. So the word salatihim is a definite noun because it is added to a suffix, which is hum, which means their. So it is defined and specified. And therefore we can say that this word is now a definite noun. It is also a feminine noun because the word salah ends with ta marbuta. Remember, you should always check the original form of the word, and in this case it is salah, which originally ended with ta marbuta. Salatihim is also a singular noun because it does not have any of the plural suffixes that we've learned. And as for the case ending, it is found at the end of the word salah, so it is the kasra under the ta. Pay attention not to look for the case ending at the end of the suffix, but rather at the end of the original word, because the suffix is not an original part of the word. And using the knowledge that you've built up in the course of the last 5 lessons, categorizing the rest of these words should be pretty straightforward. Can you fill in the blanks here? Let me know in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to check out the description for the homework of this lesson. And of course, you can leave your answers of the homework in the comments section, and I'll have a look at it and I'll give you my feedback if you want to have my feedback. Thanks for watching. I hope you have learned something new today. If you did, please like and share the video for other people to learn from it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in lesson 6.